Hey there, and welcome. Today, we are diving into one of the biggest questions out there. What is thought? And where in the world does it come from? You might be surprised to find out the answer is hiding in plain sight.
You know, we usually think of intelligence as something that happens right up here, inside our own heads. But what if that's not the whole story? What if thought isn't some special magic reserved for brains, but is actually a pattern? A pattern that can pop up anywhere the conditions are right. That's the huge question we're going to try and unpack today.
All right, so to really crack this open, we have to first understand the secret of thought itself. And that means we need to start looking for intelligence not just in here, but out there, all around us.
This is where we hit on this incredible idea called emergence. It's a bit of a mind bender, but the idea is simple. You can have a ton of really simple parts that by themselves are, well, kind of dumb, but when you get enough of them interacting in the right way, something new and way more intelligent just appears. It's not programmed into any one part, it just arises out of the connections between them.
Okay, so that might sound a little abstract, right? Let's make it real, because nature is absolutely packed with these hidden brains, working away right under our noses.
This is the perfect example of what I'm talking about. I mean, think about it. A single neuron in your brain. It doesn't have thoughts or feelings. It's just a simple cell. But you get billions of them firing together in a network, and suddenly you get consciousness. You get, well, you. Or take one single ant. It's just following basic, simple rules. But a whole colony? They can farm, build cities, wage war. The intelligence isn't in the ant, it's in the colony. It's the same exact magic you see when a flock of birds moves like a single, flowing entity in the sky with nobody in charge.
And believe me, this idea of collective intelligence doesn't just stop with animals. It scales up, way, way up, to the level of entire ecosystems. We're talking about information networks on a planetary scale.
I mean, take a forest, for example. You might see a bunch of individual trees, but underneath the ground, there's this massive web of fungi connecting their roots. Through this wood-wide web, they can share nutrients, send warnings about pests. They act like one giant connected organism. Or hey, look inside your own body. The trillions of microbes in your gut form a complex system that can actually influence your mood and your decisions. These are huge, decentralized thinking systems.
So this is where it gets really, really interesting. This exact same principle, this idea of simple parts creating complex intelligence, it isn't just a weird quirk of biology. It's the secret sauce behind artificial intelligence. It's literally the same playbook, just swapping out cells for circuits.
Just look at how beautifully this lines up. In our brains, the basic unit is a neuron. It just fires or it doesn't. In a computer, the basic unit is a transistor. It just switches on or off. A single one of these does basically nothing. It doesn't think. But network billions of them together? From one, you get the miracle of consciousness. From the other, you get the magic of AI.
So how does AI actually think? Well, it's all about that emergence we've been talking about. You take billions of those simple on-off switches and arrange them in these massive layered networks. Then you flood it with data. The network, as a whole, starts to see these invisible connections and patterns so incredibly complex that suddenly behavior emerges. Things like logic or creativity or writing a poem. The thinking isn't happening in any single transistor. It emerges from the way the whole system is organized.
Okay, so if this pattern works for brains, for ants, and for AI, you gotta ask, right? How far does this go? Could it apply to something as big as a planet, a galaxy, or what the heck, the entire universe? And this has led to some really wild big picture ideas. You've got the Gaia hypothesis, which suggests that planet Earth itself acts like a single living creature. Its oceans, its atmosphere, its life forms, they all work together as this one giant self-regulating system that keeps the planet habitable. And if you want to go even deeper down the rabbit hole, there's this philosophical view called panpsychism. This is the idea that consciousness isn't something special that appears in complex things like brains. Instead, it's a fundamental feature of matter itself, just like mass or charge. It suggests every little particle has some tiny, tiny spark of experience. And the idea that links all this together, from anthills to the whole universe, is emergentism. It's the core philosophy we've been exploring this whole time, that the whole can be way greater and totally different than just the sum of its parts.
And this quote right here, it nails the core of a really fascinating modern theory. It's called integrated information theory, and it basically says consciousness has nothing to do with what you're made of, whether that's carbon or silicon. Instead, it's all about how well connected the information is inside a system. The more integrated the information, the more conscious the system could be.
So, okay, let's bring this back to right now. If thought is all about organization and the flow of information, what does that mean for our future? Because we are building new thinking systems at a speed that is just staggering.
And make no mistake, this isn't science fiction. It's happening as we speak. Right now, we have AI that's already thinking in ways we don't fully get. In the very near future, the Internet of Things is going to connect billions of sensors and devices into what you could call a global brain. Beyond that, we're looking at quantum computers processing information in ways that are totally alien to us and maybe even intelligence networks that span entire planets.
So, look, if you take just one thing away from all of this, please let it be this. The true secret of thought, it's not in the stuff. It's not about flesh or silicon or stardust. It's about the pattern, the connections, the dance of information. It's all about the organization.
Which leaves us with one last kind of awe-inspiring question to chew on. If thought is just a pattern, what other intelligent systems might be all around us right now that we just haven't figured out how to recognize? They could be too big or too small or just too weird for us to see. The universe might just be humming with thought, and we're only now learning how to listen.